Hello, welcome. It's Golden Week in Japan, and me and my husband are traveling to go and see his family. Golden Week is a series of holidays that are close together, so everyone ends up with several days off. I know one of the days is Children's Day, but I forget what the others are. During Golden Week, most people travel home, so highways, trains, and buses end up really busy. Because we hate the traffic, me and my husband usually drive very late at night rather than during the day so that we can miss the traffic. I'm very grateful that my husband does most of the driving, but I do a few hours. Now I am at my in-laws' house. They are nice enough to let us stay with them when we visit, and I always really enjoy this view from their house. The mountains in the background and the changing of the rice fields, and seeing the little K-trucks and tractors go by. It's something that I really enjoy, although I think my in-laws and my husband find it a little funny that I like this so much. But growing up in a semi-arid region of the United States, I didn't get to see things like this growing up. So even though I've been here more than 5 years, I still really enjoy scenes like this. Now, I said my home was semi-arid, which just means that it was dry. We got very little rain. So anytime I get to see lots of trees and plants and green, I get really excited. I think it's probably something that I will enjoy no matter how long I live in Japan. Now, the first thing that we went out and did during Golden Week is go to a tower. So at the top of the tower, you get this view of the city, and at the bottom of the tower, there's shopping. You can buy some local produce, like vegetables, but there's also local goods. So this is Akita, so they're famous for the Akita Inu, the Akita dog. So you can find things like shirts with the Akita dog on them. You can also find things with namahage, which are a local legend. They're a kind of demon. As you can see, you can also see out into the harbor. In the past, this harbor used to be really, really busy. It's not quite as busy anymore, but I still really liked the view from the tower. And now they're putting up what you can see in this part of the video, all of they're giant windmills. Now that everyone is trying to be more environmentally friendly, giant windmills like this are becoming more common. So these are pretty new to the harbor, but I think it's good for cities to try different ways to be eco-friendly. I was really happy it was sunny so that I could actually get some good video. I've been to this before where it was cloudy. Next, we went out to right next to the ocean, and we are going to an aquarium. The whole family went together, and we parked, and we had to walk down a little bit, but from the parking lot to the aquarium was probably less than a 5-minute walk, and it was really busy. Because it's Golden Week and everyone has the day off and people have traveled home, there were lots of people. So I got to see things like seals, and penguins, although it was hard to get a good picture because the glass was wet. I also really liked seeing the jellyfish. I think they're calming. Then we came and took a drive down this road. This road is famous for having all of these yellow flowers and sakura. There's a lot of different places in Japan where you can go and look at sakura. And I really liked the fact that they didn't just have the sakura on this road, but they also had these kind of bright and happy looking yellow flowers. The road was pretty long and we drove for quite a while, and luckily there were still some sakura. It's reaching kind of the end of the sakura season when I was in Akita, but there was some still in bloom, as you can see. So sakura in English is cherry blossoms, and I've heard that actually there used to be so many different varieties of cherry blossoms, but many people prefer the very pale pink, almost white cherry blossoms. So that is what gets planted in most places. And it's led to the other varieties kind of decreasing, and now there's a risk of losing the different varieties of cherry blossoms, which I think is pretty sad, especially because I actually like the brighter pink cherry blossoms. The very pale white ones are, of course, also beautiful, but I just prefer the brighter pinks. I'm curious if anyone else has heard about this issue. I haven't really heard it talked about very much, but because cherry blossoms are so important in Japan and such a big event every year, I think that it would kind of be a big problem for a lot of Japanese people. I know in recent years, a lot more people have become aware of environmental problems like this. For example, the government released the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, and a big part of that is being environmentally friendly. For example, in the past few years, there's been campaigns for my bag and my bottle, which are just encouraging people to use their own items instead of using plastic ones. Now, once we were finished looking at the sakura on that road, me and my husband went on a drive, just the two of us. Like I've said, I really enjoy watching out the window and seeing all of the vibrant greens in the spring. And I even got to see this small garden as well. So that's pretty much the last thing I did on my Golden Week. What did you do during your Golden Week? Were you able to go on a trip? Please let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear how different people spend their Golden Week. But thank you so much for listening. That's all for today. Bye-bye.